Good morning, everyone. Holy crap, it's Thursday. That one kind of snuck up on us, didn't it? Well, anyway, not a whole heck of a lot to talk about except that if you're not following me on High Notes, you really should. The Rune of the Week, I did 2 cards yesterday on High Notes because I missed, what was it, Tuesday? Tuesday I didn't do the tarot card. And that was just because I got called into work like super early, way earlier than expected, so not much that could be done there. And ended up posting that reading kind of late. I see it still did well though, so no complaints there. People still wanted to see it, so I'm good with that. I was like, where's my spirit animal deck? Here it is. Okay. I kind of set up the decks a little differently. I just kind of placed them a little further off to the side, but we do have Viking Oracle, we have Spirit Animal Oracle, we have the Runes of the Gods Oracle, naturally. We'll be using those same decks tomorrow. But for this one, I don't know why, but Rider-Waite and White Light Oracle kind of raised their hands and said, pick me, so I did. So, and you guys know I don't work with White Light Oracle that much. I love those cards, they're very beautiful, but they don't often really say, hey, bring me to the table, you know. We don't have an extremely close relationship, but we do have one. And today, apparently, they have a very important message, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to let them speak today. Also, the runes seem to, they have a very important message for us today, too. As during the shuffle phase, one of them just popped out. So it's like, okay, well, I see that you, we've had that happen before. That was back when I did, some overhand, I used to do overhand shuffles right here on camera, and of course, naturally, sometimes you're doing those overhand shuffles, a couple cards jump out. Apparently they have a very important message today, so we're going to look at that. But anyway, as I was saying on High Notes, the Rune of the Week was Isa, same as last week, so, you know, a little thankful. I didn't redo that one, even though, you know, sometimes I do, but this time I was like, no, not this time. This was one that needed to come out, and it needed to come out very prominently. I really think it still applies. And also Frithgeard came up, and we've noticed that through the chaos of the last week or two, some of us have been confronted by people who are not at peace with themselves. They don't like that we're at peace with ourselves, and they wish to see us destroyed. That's not paranoia. That's just how it's been happening. Do I let it worry me? Not at all. Alright, so let's do this, shall we? Let's get this thing knocked out. We do have Well of Weird. Well of Weird lets you know magic is a very real force. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Right here in that lower third where you see my name pop up, below you'll see believe in your own magic. Believe in your own power. Believe in your own authority. Believe that you can affect the world around you. Now here's the thing, I'm going to tie it in with yesterday's card pull on High Notes. You must absolutely be at peace with yourself. You cannot change things around you unless you work on yourself first. And that's what the Well of Weird is telling you. To believe in your own power to affect the change around you by working on yourself. You cannot change a damn external thing until you have changed that about you. That's it. There is no other way to do it. You can scream, you can shake your fist at the sky, you can go on targeted harassment campaigns on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever you want to do, but it won't change anything except having the opposite effect of what you intend. That's it. I hope we're very clear on that. And that message is coming very strongly from that well. So let's go with the next card, Sunstone. Now, of course, Frithgeard, Issa, both of them are telling you, calm your mind. We've had that pop up in Tuesday's reading. Calm your mind. Find your true north. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all about you today. It's hyper-focused on you. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you this, but when it's this hyper-focused on you, you can take it to the bank that it's a very important message, and it needs to be heard, and it needs to be heeded by you. Goodness knows there's been a lot of advice in these cards in the last week alone so far that I've had to take and internalize a bit. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Okay, so be very careful. Very careful with the things you say. Start with the things you think, because your thoughts can become words very quickly. And believe me, if you follow me on social media to any degree, you will know sometimes the filter between brain and mouth on me just goes fuck it and leaves. And then I gotta watch what the hell I'm saying, because it can get me into trouble. But that's exactly what it's telling you. Watch your word. Ladies and gentlemen, magic happens in the spoken word. It really does. Magic happens in the spoken word, and it's true. Because sometimes the things you say are a result of the things you think. They're the result of the things that are rolling around in your mind. And guess what? You can speak your mind, but guess what? Sometimes it will have some very, very disastrous effects. Some days it'll have very great effects. So that's the question you should really be asking yourself. Which one of those do you really want today? Hey, for some of us, a bubble is a very safe place. It's a very good place to be. Surrounded by people who actually support you. And I mean real support. And if you ever want to know what that looks like, kind of question them from time to time. You know, not sit there and shake your finger and call them out and chastise them. I mean, question them. You know, ask questions. Try to get to the heart of the problem. Sometimes you'll find all kinds of really, really cool stuff comes out. Sometimes you just agree to disagree. But I'll tell you this much. That happens with people who support you. The people who don't suddenly just go, they'll turn on you. Like flipping a switch. They go from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Asshole very quickly. Let's see what's happening in the tarot. Got a King of Pentacles in reverse. Got an Emperor. And got a Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh boy. Another bit of a warning sign, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you this much about that King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is someone who does not have control over their dominion. And we're going, and this is someone who's given into their vices. Some of those, and one of those vices I can tell you is drama. I can tell you this much, I'm going to admit something to you, and it's very true. As much as I don't like drama, sometimes it's like Adam Calhoun said in the song he did with Tom McDonald called "I Don't Want to Hear It." He said, "I don't want to hear it, but sometimes I kind of do." You know, that little masochistic streak that we all have. Man, I hate that kind of drama. But boy, you can't wait to get that little nugget of information that you have stored, just ready to pop it into a shepherd sling, swing it around, and pop it at somebody, right? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, and that's where you and even I am right now. That's where we are. So right now, the present situation is that King of Pentacles, and then we move into the Emperor, and the Emperor is this hard, very authority. This is hard authority right here, because we're moving into that. You know, we're gonna take this thing back. We're going to make all the rules. But warning sign, that kind of action can cause this. The Queen of Cups is a very serene figure among disturbed waters. And I wonder what's happening here. Are we robbing ourselves of our serenity? Seems like some of us are. I know I don't want to be robbed of mine. And we've got that vice again. So it seems like we're kind of overcorrecting here in the tarot, and that's not a good sign. That's a sign that we really need some advice here. Overcorrection, it's never a good thing. If you're bumping up against this constantly and then you just suddenly shift the wheel, it's going to veer off. You know, it's okay to turn it so that you stay in that lane, or at least stay on the track. It's not a good idea to cut it hard, you know. Don't overcorrect, ladies and gentlemen. That does not work. All right, let's go. Let's seek a little wisdom here from the light source itself. All right. You know what? I just turned this over and it looks like the exact same thing. It's not. This is the card face. This is the back. But by the White Wolf. Here we go. Okay. We've got our path now, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with Layla of Parvati. Let's have a look at what they have to say about her. Run. Oops. Went a little far there. Layla of Parvati. So it says, there is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same, even greater effect. Tame that wild and frenzied working of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. Now that's a great message. I love that message. It's telling us again, don't overcorrect. You know, calm down a little bit. You're going to be fine. There is a way to take a calmer approach. And with this, I should probably show you that card. I'm always showing you cards, right? And that's her. She is very much at peace, right? Can't make peace with the world around you if you don't make peace with yourself. And she's telling us that. That's what I like to call that card. Make peace with yourself. And then Beta of Spirit Wolf here, the one that I said looks the same. I mean, look at that part right there. Right? This doesn't look like a fierce predator. This looks like, I come in peace, but I swear if you fuck with me, I will end every one of you. Just so we have that understanding, we can coexist. But it does tell you, get enough rest. Give yourself a bit of a break. If you're in the midst of that drama, back out. You know what? The Basic Expert actually John Torres, over on his channel where I was hanging out, did a wonderful video where he showed that, and the thumbnail for it was a fist literally pounding sand, and it's like, yeah, go pound sand. I love that quote. Love that expression. Go kick rocks, go pound sand, you know, kick the dust from your heels, whatever you want to go with, it's fine. But it says, only then will you be able to ground yourself enough, and that's what we're needing. We need a little grounding, don't we? Ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You'll find a way through any tricky situation as you tune into your instincts. Trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty come confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition. Commit to your tasks and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any issue. And that much is true. Now, 7 Blessings of Eve, I do not need to look for this one. This is called the Unfuck Yourself card. By the way, I'd like to thank Hallie for that summary. This is where you definitely need to unfuck yourself. And if you're not getting things done because you're embroiled in the drama, or you're unable to pull yourself from it long enough to get your stuff done, guess what? Time to undo that. It may be hard. It may be difficult. I can tell you this much. When Facebook instituted its real name policy, I got to watch friends and family members suddenly come out from behind masks, and then they became worse. They tore each other apart. People who have known each other and loved each other for years were now just ripping into each other. I got tired of seeing it. So, I deleted my account. I sent Facebook the letter telling them to scrub my details from it. I didn't want any part of it, and I will never be on that site again. If you think a real name policy works, go there. Stay there. It does not. It just causes more drama than it actually solves. But that was one way I unfucked myself. I was miserable. I was constantly hanging out on it. I don't know why. I guess misery loves company. We're all kind of attracted to that thing that we hate the most, and sometimes we even become the thing we hate the most if we don't start correcting it now. Let's go to the runes real quick. I'll bet Iwaz comes up. We've got Uruz, so having that strength. We got Manas, and we've got Berkano. Okay. So, Ivaz didn't come up, but it did come up earlier, and it would have pointed at remaining flexible. These 2 cards right here are telling us to be flexible, or be grounded, but be flexible. Unfuck yourself, because the tarot is giving us a warning of if you're going, if you're not exercising your authority, but you exercise it too much, and you're just going to be upset. That's really it. But we're told have that strength. Really keep ourselves in that courage to do what's right. Sometimes that does mean parting ways with certain people. If certain people are toxic and they refuse to do anything, just part ways with them. Block them, mute them, whatever you gotta do. Just part ways with them. Hey, this is where we part ways, bud. Call me when this is no longer an issue. Always leave the door open if you can. There's a good reason for that, because now we're going into having that insight, being in touch with our humanity. Have you ever noticed it looks like a Dagon's rune with legs? Right? Things are going to dawn on you eventually, and it needs legs to move. It needs to be about you. But you need to treat yourself well. You need to, calm yourself. You need to relax a little bit. Don't take things so seriously. Right? If you believe you only live once, why are you so tense? You might as well enjoy this ride, because it brings us to this next. Berkano is all about healing. It's about birth and rebirth. Ladies and gentlemen, snakes, they shed their skin. When they come out of it, that's a new snake. A new snake, right? So they get rid of it. They shed it. They leave it behind. Now, personally, I'm not fond of snakes, but that's beside the point, isn't it? So, the summary here is nothing you haven't heard before. It's nothing I haven't heard before, but it's a message that bears repeating. You have to work on you. You have to be at peace with you. If you're not at peace with you right now, work on those parts that are keeping you, unlevel, unbalanced, and then just keep working on them. Have some patience. Slow down a little bit. Give yourself a little credit. It's okay to take a break and rest and relax. It's okay to get away from it all for a while. Turn that phone off. Turn the computer off. Sit down with a book. Crack open a book. A paperback novel, a tabletop role-playing game book, a spiritual book, books on folklore, a comic book, doesn't matter. Get out of that. Go for a walk. Listen to the birds singing and chirping, if you can. Today it's not going to be so good for it. Weather's kind of bad, but at least where I am. But do that. Do it for yourself. Do it for your sanity. Get away from people who are not giving you a message of support and love and caring. Get away from people who are telling you to do things that you normally, otherwise would not do. I hope you got that. I know I needed it. That's a great reading for me for today. So, I want to go ahead and get this thing into the pipe so that you get it. I want you all viewing to remember something right now. I love you all. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. I want you to always do what lights you up. And as always, I want you to shine on. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Little post-credit scene never hurt anyone, did it? Yeah, I don't think it ever has. So why not one for today? So the song I mentioned earlier, I Don't Want to Hear It by Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun, is one I definitely recommend that you check out. If you have Spotify, you can check it out pretty easily. And since I did not deliver a tarot card for Tuesday, I'm going to do one today on High Notes. So let's stick this back in here. There we go. Okay, so anyway, it opens with, I don't want to hear it if you're bringing drama. I ain't going near it if they do the most. I don't want to hear it if they're having problems. I believe in my people. I don't believe in keeping enemies close. I don't want to hear it. Isn't that something? Especially those last few lines. I believe in my people. I don't believe in keeping enemies close. Don't want to hear it. I'm very much the same. I recommend listening to it. And of course, I also check out Flame Emojis. It's pretty awesome. Alright, I gotta get out of here. Love you guys. See you on High Notes.